but I don't have $50,000 or $30,000 or $100,000 to go out and test and learn more about this skill. So what can I do?
What one quality you think you've had that made you to achieve what you have?
If you're passionate and driven and focused in what you do, people will take notice.
Find your own way, find your own voice, find your own feelings.
When you want to succeed as bad as you want to breathe, then you'll be successful. Be able at any moment to sacrifice what we are for what we could be.
In this world, there's room for everyone, and the good earth is rich. The way of life can be free and beautiful.
Good morning. Just getting into a meeting. This is a really good day today. Really thinking right now what I'm gonna make the blog about, but probably after this meeting, if it's gonna go well, we're gonna get a new office and we're gonna talk about that real soon. So let's go. All right. So it's just kind of something funny. I just recorded like the 15-minute version of the story, just to realize that the sun was kind of over focusing my face and you cannot see anything, so I gotta refilm it again, which is kind of unfortunate, but again, this stuff happens, so you gotta get used to it and keep moving forward without getting annoyed or angry or anything like that. So coming back to the story, once I got selling those bracelets and doing all of that, like I said, what I realized really fast is that from all the variables that were involved in that business at that time, selling bracelets, selling clothing and all this stuff online, I realized that from the components of the business, the thing that was bringing me the most money and I was the best at was promoting and actually selling the products and doing the social media aspect of things and selling them online and all of that, which back then, I think this was like 3 years ago, it was a really rare kind of skill. Nobody was really having it. I learned it all by myself, not actually by any course or anything like that, just by using common sense and going after and testing with money and adjusting and testing and adjusting and testing. I realized I was really good at that, and the money that I've made because I was good at that skill, I was losing on the other things that I was not good at, such as management, customer support, refunds, shipping, all the other stuff that I was not really actually good at. So what I did was I actually took the skill that I had, which was in just promotion and Facebook ads and all that, and I decided I'm gonna focus on that. Which at the time I didn't actually realize what I was doing that, but it's a really good actual decision, because you always want to focus on your strengths and what you're actually good at, not to do all the things that you want to do, but you're not actually productive and efficient at all of them. So I did that, and what I did next is I went out and at the time there was no such thing as the thought of the agency. There was just like the idea of me going out and actually using the skill and using clients' budgets and all this stuff to actually get better at what I'm doing. Because my reasoning was, I understand this skill, but I don't have $50,000 or $30,000 or $100,000 to go out and test and learn more about this skill. So what can I do? Well, there's something I could do, which is get clients, get them results, use their budgets, and use their infrastructure and platforms to actually grow and scale and understand better what these companies are, so that later I can actually leverage those skills and whatever I want to do that with, whatever that is, buying companies and putting them in my social media agency, whatever that is, leveraging them for my internal brands or for whatever companies I want to build, or whatever that is for actually getting better at serving clients. So first thing I did after I understood that, I just went off and just got like a few clients in Romania, which was pretty easy in my opinion, because another thing that I'm kind of naturally good at is selling. I really understand from an empathetical point of view what people react to and what people want to buy and what people don't want to buy and all these things. So I kind of acted from a subconscious point of view, which was really interesting. Again, proving the fact that you want to go and do the things that you're kind of naturally good at, because you're going to be a lot better off doing that, and you just want to go with the flow anyway. So I did that, got a few clients, which was a lot of fun. And for the next couple of months, it was a real nightmare because I was essentially managing like 4 or 5 clients all by myself and handling everything. I was a one-man show, right? I was wearing all the hats. I was doing everything: sales, invoices, emails, appointments, sales calls, relationship calls, strategy, execution, management, optimization, analytics, pixels, develop the programming behind it to actually develop the analytics. I was doing everything. Which is something that, again, felt kind of in a natural way for me, but when you're building your company, it's something that you're probably gonna do. You cannot be fancy, you cannot hire people because you cannot afford it. So what you're gonna do is you're gonna need to actually go out and be able to do a lot of things and be good at a lot of things. And that's why some entrepreneurs are really, really talented people, because you need a talented person to actually be able to go out and do 10 things, do 8 things, and do them kind of good so that you can get away with that. So that was the next thing I did. Then after that, what I did was, after getting some clients, I realized that this idea of an agency, it's actually possible. So my next move was actually strategizing and thinking of how can I possibly get employees to actually teach them this, because there was not like an option to hire people that already know this. So there was a training thing that I had to do anyways. So how can I do that? And how can I do that in the most effective way? And I employed my first person, which was a friend, a dear friend of mine I worked with in the past, and I employed my second person, and so on and so on and so on. And by the end of the year, hopefully we're gonna reach 50, 75 people as employees. And also we're gonna get, I really hope we're gonna get, in terms of sales, like from $0.5 to $1 million a month in revenue, which is kind of a semi-challenge, but I think it's doable, and maybe more. So that's kind of my goal for this year. Regarding back then, so kind of started employing people, and then some of the challenges that I've seen with that is that people don't actually work for you because they want your money. This is not a challenge, this is a good thing, but why people actually work with you is because they want to have a purpose. They want to be appreciated, they want to be good at what they do, and they want a place that actually will feel like a culture to them, will actually feel like a place they want to come to and work with and give their best and all of that stuff. So I really gave my best from the beginning to build a culture inside my team. That's really, really valuable, and it's just become such an asset for us as an agency to be able to move together forward and be able to crush things all together. Not just I'm doing this, I'm the best, you're doing that, you're not the best. Like, everyone is great, right? Everyone is doing their best. So that's great. Culture is a really, really important thing that played out a massive important piece of the puzzle in the kind of success we have and the success we're gonna have. And again, I just want to point out something. This vlog is not about how I've made it and how I'm the best and I'm a billionaire and all this stuff. Like, I'm not, right? What I want to do with this vlog, though, is kind of document my way through things. Number one, because it's gonna be so freaking awesome when this agency, when the businesses that we're going with are gonna reach a substantial revenue, like 100 million a month, 100 million a year and more, to actually look back at the documented version of things, one. Number two, it will be really, really cool for more young people that are going out, trying things, starting their businesses, thinking about how they can add value to the marketplace, to actually see these things. For actual people that want to just improve their life, right? To actually see these things and just understand that it's possible, and it's possible for you, But you have to be a learner, you have to move fast, you have to make decisions. And I would really say you really need to understand first what is your inside alignment and what you align with. So let's continue the story. I know I'm diving off a lot, but this is my style, so get used to it. Anyways, love you. Got my first clients. Then the next thing I realized was the kind of US, UK, Australia, and this kind of like big markets that I was not tapping into, where they're available for me because I had kind of a decent English and I could go out and approach those clients, but I was just not doing that. So next move I did, I went out to conferences, I went out approaching people, cold calling, doing all the crazy stuff I wanted to, and we got some really, really interesting clients. I think I got a pretty good client. The kind of the second or third client I got outside the Romanian ones were fitness, then e-commerce, then SaaS, then a brand that we were working with till the day. I mean, we're working, I think, with all these companies still today outside one. So I did that, and then I realized that there's such a big market out there in the US, UK, and all these places that they're just overcharging and under-delivering. So by overcharging and under-delivering, I felt that there's an actual place in the marketplace for me to crush them. So that's still in the works right now, in the strategy that we're going through, in the content strategy, the content play, the video you're seeing now. Everything is kind of tied together in order to build a massive brand as an agency and as a person, in order to drive the actual awareness that we can drive better results than most people, and we can actually do that at a better result and outcome and less overhead for you as a company, corporation, brand, whatever it is. So that was the kind of the main infrastructure there. After we got some outside clients, the cash flow was really starting to get really, really good. And I managed to actually employ some more people, actually get into the training more and get into the nitty-gritty of the business, which everybody loves, like systems, processes, and actually setting up the business. How can I actually make the company work without me, in the sense that I was actually giving myself free space and mind space and energy to actually focus on the things that I was good at and that were bringing the most value to the company, which were vision, high-level strategy, and attracting new and more interesting and more enthusiastic opportunities for ourselves and business develop in a way that only I understand how to do. So did that, and that's still in the works right now with the strategy that we're gonna do this year. We're gonna push a lot on the personal brand, on the internal brand, on the increased media. And that's going to be a massive play, and I'm really looking forward to see the kind of how that plays out and how we gather audience on that side. We're really actually looking to actually build massive brands and valuable brands in that, so that's really good. So yeah, just kind of to dive off this story and kind of end it in a way that will actually give you something to work on. What I believe made me actually get this like quote unquote level of success, even though I haven't, like I said, I haven't made it because I'll probably never make it, right? Unless I'm the first person in the world, like the most richest, the most happiest, the most whatever. And even then, I haven't made it. I'll probably never make it. So in that sense, I have not made it. I don't want to portray myself in that way. What I want though is for people to understand that if you want to start something and you want to build something of value, you got to start first with the understanding that there's a lot of things that go into that. For example, what I did at first, before I started any company, is I really aligned myself with the things that I liked doing. And that was like a lot of reading, a lot of discipline, a lot of mental habits, a lot of spending time around people that I know were valuable and all that stuff. And something that I think is really important is really understanding the fact that before you think about money, before you think about how much money you're gonna make and what car you're gonna buy and what building you're gonna buy and how your apartment is gonna look, and how your watch is gonna be $30,000 and all that stuff, which you can care about, and that's fine. I really don't that much. I want it, but it's not my priority. So how I look at work and the things you want to do if you really want to be good and if you really want to make an impact is you've got to start with something, and you got to start from the perspective that you like what you're doing because you like what you're doing. And here's how that will play out for you. So here's an example. If you're a designer, for example, and if you like your work, you're gonna design because you like your work. And the reward that you're gonna get is the actual process itself, is the actual creation of the design piece that you're creating. That's the reward. If you don't like design just for the fact that you're expressing yourself and creating, and you don't like the work just by the work itself, what's gonna happen is you're gonna feel and you're gonna sense that you're gonna end up frustrated because you're waiting for outside signals to tell you you're good. You're gonna wait for outside signals to tell you if the design is fine, and you're gonna be disappointed, and you're gonna have ups and downs. But when you are driven by doing your work in the first place, and then the things that come after, beautiful things will happen, because in that kind of scenario, you're self-sufficient. When you do your work because you like what you're doing, the reward is internal. You don't depend on external influences to get your reward from your work. But if you look after money, if you look after whatever it is you're looking for, you're gonna get disappointed because success is paid in advance. And by the way, Robert, video editor guy, send me a message or something to make a quote out of this. Success is always paid in advance. That's a good quote. I like that. So success is always paid in advance. So if you're actually looking and your main driver and motivation is to get the money or to get the house or get to travel or get whatever it is you're trying to do, that's like, you're not gonna get it every single time. You're gonna end up frustrated. So better is to start with something that you like, because practically it's gonna give you a lot more reward in the long term, because your reward is internally fulfilled. So just to kind of give you like this in the story, just to kind of give you some context on me and why I'm doing this vlog and what I was doing before this and all of that. Other things that were involved in my story that I like will take another hour to kind of tell the story about, and all of this is the fact that I was a professional dancer for 9 years, which built a really, really good level of discipline and a desire in me, which was really powerful. Then there were a lot of other variables that played a massive piece of the puzzle in the actual process, which took me to where I am today. So we're gonna talk about that in the other vlogs, but for now, thank you so much for watching. Again, hope you're really getting value out of these vlogs, and it really inspires you, motivates you, and educates you, and it makes you want to do stuff, and makes you go out and actually apply and actually get rewards and actually improve your life, business, and all that. So thank you so much for watching. Please, 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 if you have questions, if you're wondering about stuff, if you're asking about business, if you're asking about stuff that maybe I've been through, just ask them in the comments, and I'm watching all the comments. I'm answering how many I can. So if you have anything you want to ask, don't hesitate to do that. I love to answer questions. Also, subscribe, like, share, all that stuff if you like the videos. If you don't, then don't do it. With that being said, gotta jump, gotta have to get some work done. I think it's 3 o'clock in the day right now, so it's pretty early in the day for me. There's still 9 hours left in the day, so got a lot of stuff to do. So see you tomorrow, and bye-bye. And the first thing you ask the employer is how much money you're gonna make, right? Is that good or is that bad? Well, I don't know, because what you said, what you do doesn't exactly matter. What really matters is what were you thinking? What was the place from which you